solar and renewables are scalable, solar in particular. The full install doesn't have to all be done at once. A lot of solar companies have pulled back, even closed, sadly to say. But with that taking place, creates opportunity. So we definitely utilized that and seen that as an opportunity, and decided it was a good time to step in, step our game up, and put ourselves really out there. Don't give up. There's always struggles. There's always those tough times. It's well worth it in many ways to see the course through and stick with it. So.
Welcome to the Sask Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have a very exciting guest, Brett Kemmer, who I've known for about a year almost now. And Brett officially started Pioneer Solar and Renewables in early 2019. He's responsible for providing the vision through leadership and business strategy. It is Brett's ability to focus on the big picture while maintaining detail-oriented. He has a business administration degree from Saskatchewan Polytechnic and is working on a bachelor degree from University of Saskatchewan in Arts and Science. Continuing education is of importance to him to remain innovative and sharp. Brett has several main core values: motivation, innovation, respect, and enthusiasm being some of them. He is extremely passionate about upholding these values while utilizing them to make Pioneer Solar and Renewables the best it can be. Brett, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Muneeb. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's great. So tell me about your current role. Where are you right now, and how are you building the business?
Yeah, definitely. So, so Pioneer Solar's been up and running now for 3 years, since 2019. So, we're growing, and still a quite new company, relatively new company. So, it's been a real roller coaster, and with solar and renewables, there's always these government incentives that are brought in and brought out as they cap out or time out. So been kind of learning a lot about that. That has been a wealth of education for me, and it's been good though. We've really been enjoying it. So
that's great. So what's your backstory? I mean, how did you actually end up starting this company?
Yeah. So I really learned and got an in-depth understanding of renewables through the U of S, through University of Saskatchewan. And, I've always been interested in renewables, renewable energy, and whatnot. But that's kind of when I really dove in and really got a deep grasp of the industry, I guess you could say, And I took some environmental science courses there, and kind of got really close with my profs and started asking them more and more questions. And from there, started the company in 2019. So
that's great. So what kind of services do you provide, and who do you serve?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we serve a broad range of customers. Our main industries are. Our main industries when it comes to solar would be residential, commercial, and agricultural customers. We really focus on that, and kind of always have since we started. That covers a big part of the solar market, but something that we are getting into is government procurement contracts. So basically, what that is, that's working with governments, in regard to school installs, city halls. Civic centers and stuff like that. So we've been diving into that as well.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a competitive industry out there. So if I may ask, what separates you from your competition?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So we have a really big focus on quality, and kind of always have. So we like to pay attention to all the little details, make that a top priority amongst our team. And our price points, we tend to kind of strive to be very competitive on price and offer really good rates to our customers as well.
I mean, I find that often when customers are looking to, buy solar panels, or they're looking to invest in renewables, they often don't have a lot of knowledge in them. I mean, yes, you can do your research online and so forth, but how does it actually benefit you in the long run? Sometimes, in terms of cost and so forth. How do you overcome that challenge?
Yeah, exactly. And you're kind of talking about the upfront cost of solar.
That's right. Yes,
Is
I
that
mean
correct, Mooney?
it's
Yeah.
significant. I mean, the upfront cost is quite significant, and
It
when
is.
you
It is.
yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely it is. It's definitely an investment and a significant investment that that what we've realized it's one of the main barriers for customers to get into solar and renewable energy of any kind is the upfront cost. So in that regard, there's a couple options. So the first option that we talk often with customers is solar and renewables are scalable. Solar in particular, which we focus on. So with solar, the full install doesn't have to be done. The full install in the sense of fully offsetting the customer's total electricity costs doesn't have to all be done at once. So basically, we can come in, size the inverter to offset fully, and then install half the solar panels needed. Maybe to fully offset the cost of the electricity bill, it'd be say 20 solar panels. We can come in and install 10 solar panels, and then down the road that customer can install, call us back and choose to install the remainder whenever, 2, 3, however many years down the road. So that's one option for offsetting the upfront cost. And then I guess the second option is financing. There are financing options out there for solar and renewable installs. Our company right now, we are working on some financing options and also some innovative alternatives for offsetting the cost. And we should have something put together by next year for financing, in-house financing. So.
Interesting. Now, I mean, I understand that there's also some government grants that you can take advantage of, as well as some credits that you can actually get. And
Yeah.
do you find your customers utilizing those benefits?
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's we are always in the know on all the benefits that are available to customers. There is right now, just to touch on that, there is an agricultural rebate out there right now for customers in the ag sector, which is quite significant actually. It's a 50% rebate, the cash rebate. So half the cost of the install is offset. So yeah, there's been we've had a couple customers take advantage of that, and several others apply for that. But with any of these rebates, sometimes they can get kind of backed up. So there's that one there, the agricultural rebate. Right now, there's Greener Homes rebate, which is for residential customers all across Canada. So what that is, that's a $5,000 total cash rebate for customers, which is a significant amount of the cost. It kind of tends to be around 25% of the total install cost that's offsetting. So there's that. And then the third rebate that's out right now is the Saskatchewan Home Renovation Tax Credit. So that is a 10.5% rebate, which basically offsets the tax, right? And that's in form of a tax credit, not like a cash rebate. So that's kind of a different form of a rebate, yeah.
So I got to ask you, I mean, a lot of businesses have suffered during the pandemic, people have also become a little bit more careful about where they actually invest and spend their money. How has COVID impacted your business?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Munib. Yeah. So for us, what we found is that everybody's kind of tending to budget a bit more. And we have several customers that we've kind of been in touch with for say a year or two. Customers, family, friends that are kind of inquiring about it on the regular, and kind of have solar on their back of their mind to do eventually one day. And so yeah, that's what we've really realized is customers are kind of focusing more on their budgeting. Some people have lost their job. Some people are out of a job. Some people are unsure about job security. So it's kind of just spending has kind of been reduced, we found, and people are kind of saying after COVID we'll see what happens. So that's kind of been the biggest setback, and how it's impacted us for in regard to COVID, is people are kind of just wanting to kind of hold off for a bit, so.
So some projects have been delayed, some have been postponed, mainly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, so from a sales perspective, I mean, that poses a challenge to you. And I understand that you not only provide services in Saskatchewan, but you provide in other provinces too. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So just actually recently we became fully licensed in Alberta. So yeah, right now we can serve the full province of Alberta as well as Saskatchewan, and our intentions are to even include British Columbia eventually. But yeah, we're definitely going to be sticking to Alberta and Saskatchewan for the next couple or few years, and So I mean, COVID's been impacted kind of everywhere, as you know, but yeah, there's lots happening there too in Alberta for solar. So we're excited about that.
So what are some of the biggest challenges that you're currently facing when growing your venture?
Yeah, I'd say some of the biggest challenges. I guess one of the biggest challenges for growth is due to the fact that the upfront cost. I still say that kind of poses as kind of the main reason why customers will kind of hold off for solar for now, and they'll kind of plan for later, will be the upfront cost. And then, with us starting business in 2019, COVID hitting in 2020, I also put COVID in there as well, so.
So, I mean, yeah. Do you foresee that going away anytime soon? Because, I mean, I think, things are opening up now, things are becoming a little bit more relaxed. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for many businesses to grow quite rapidly, and tap into that potential. So are you doing anything differently, or are you planning any strategies that you think could work well in, especially, you mentioned you're expanding in Alberta and you're going to be offering some services there. Do you find that is going to be, like right now is the perfect time to move into Alberta?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the kind of one of the big reasons why we wanted to launch into Alberta, kind of when we did, was Alberta launched a quite significant rebate, and we kind of jumped on that because we knew there'd be a lot of investment into renewables, and a lot of that incentive in Alberta, the ERA. Rebates, which I can't remember what it stands for right now, but yeah. Well, let's go ahead and call it ERA. So the ERA rebate in Alberta is for business, and So that's there were some heavy investments and some large companies making some very big plans and big installs on kind of all their locations. So that's kind of why we took a move into Alberta when we did. With COVID, going on as that happened, it kind of made some people hesitant, but the rebate definitely helped. And I think too that these other rebates that have been launched have kind of been in response to COVID. So it's kind of the way of the government's kind of stepping in and saying, we need to help out here and move the industry and put policy in place to kind of keep people going down that path, so.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Obviously when you're trying to create awareness and tapping into new territories, what kind of marketing do you find is working well for your business?
Yeah. So definitely, and I can't thank you enough, Mooney, for all the help you've done for us. It's been leaps and bounds from where we were to where we are now, and really enjoyed working with you. It has been really a positive experience. But I think for us, some of the marketing that's been key is definitely having a solid website with SEO and our e-commerce site. There's been a lot of interest on our e-commerce site. And that has been really impactful and quite exciting. So. And we are launching on Facebook and Instagram right away. So that's definitely something for people to look out for. And YouTube channel, we just launched it on YouTube. So we're using multiple different streams, so.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad the website is working well. I know our team, has been working with you on that project, and I think, one of the things I got to say is that working with you and just learning more about your business, you're really forward thinking, and I think a lot of companies tend to hold back, especially, during circumstances like the pandemic, where they don't know what's going to happen in the future. But you definitely took a chance and you really pushed yourself to gain market share, which I think it requires a different kind of mindset, and a lot of businesses tend to hold back, but you really plunged forward, and I think that mindset is actually, I want to actually go deeper into that mindset. Actually, why did you start? Like, what made you do that? Because I know from working with many businesses that they tend to hold back, and you had you were really looking forward to getting this out and pushing forward. What do you think is the reason for that mindset that you have?
Yeah, for sure. That I love that question. That's a very interesting question. Yeah, and basically what was happening, and we're in touch with utility companies very very often. Like the main one here in Saskatchewan is Sask Power. They have, I think, roughly 80% market share compared to, say, Saskatoon Light and Power and City of Swift Current Light and Power. 80, maybe it's probably even higher. It's probably like 85, 90, maybe even. But So being in talks with them, what they mentioned to us is a lot of solar companies have pulled back. A lot of solar companies have even closed, sadly to say, which I wouldn't wish that on any entrepreneur. But with that taking place, creates opportunity. So we definitely utilized that and seen that as an opportunity, and decided it was a good time to step in, step our game up, and put ourselves really out there.
That's yeah. I mean, I think that's important. I mean, really, I think there's kind of three different mindsets that I think that businesses kind of went through when they were going through this pandemic. The first being that they really held back, not doing anything, and shutting things down. The second being, trying to survive and doing business the old way. But then the third way is where you pivot a little bit, or you introduce new ideas and you become a little bit more innovative, and you try out new ideas, because that's the only way that you can actually, tap into new markets and generate more potential. So I think that's takes a lot of courage to do that. I mean, it's very risky. It takes a lot of courage to do that, and you're basically going into unexpected territory where you don't know what's going to happen. So. So good for you. That's.
Well, thank you, Rudy. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and it's been an experience. It's been a ride I've enjoyed, and hard. As and starting any company and getting it off the ground, and kind of keeping that steady growth. A lot of work, So.
That's right. So I'm also a big believer that when it comes to marketing, education is one of the best forms of marketing. And it seems that, with your industry, you really have to educate your customer about what are some of the possibilities, because, that initial cost can kind of scare them. And yes, there are some incentives they can actually use. But in the long run, I mean, I was looking at the numbers there, and it pays off significantly. I mean, it's great for the environment. It's great for, it's a win-and-win solution for everyone. Can you maybe just shed some light on that, as in terms of the return on investment that your customers can get from investing in solar?
Definitely, yeah. No, I really love that question, and something that a lot of customers are interested in. They really want to know what kind of return they're going to get from this investment, because people get into renewables and do it for, like you say, kind of there's kind of two main reasons. The one is the environmental impact and the benefit that people feel from doing that, and then the second is the return on investment. That those two reasons are kind of the main reasons why people get into renewables and solar. And so the return on investment currently to date in Saskatchewan. Actually, I should say in Saskatchewan, it can kind of be. It's kind of twofold, because Sask Power and City of Saskatoon Light and Power have different net metering policies. Now, I don't know how far we want to go into net metering. It's kind of a complex thing, but basically the return on investment, to kind of give you a broad idea and kind of talk about that, the return on investment is between 8 to 12% annual return. So for a solar install, that would mean, in approximately kind of 8 to 12 years, you're recouping your initial investment, and then after that, the solar panel systems are rated to work for at least 35 years. So then, that first 8 to 12 years, you're paying for the investment, and then the next 20 odd years, you're making money, so.
And pardon my ignorance, but I'm gonna just throw this question out: is that, considering the harsh weather that we have to go through in Saskatchewan, can solar panels survive for that period?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's a really good question, and we get that asked all the time by customers. With being minus 30, this and that. How does that impact our solar? And solar, it's been designed really, really rugged. It's really made for any kind of conditions. So yeah, basically on the solar panels, you got a metal frame, a very rugged metal frame. You got tempered glass on top. And all the cabling is mounted right on the underside of the solar panels. So it's all protected. There's no direct rain, snow, anything impacting it. Nothing sitting on the cabling and anything like that. And we always make sure to tie off our cabling really good to rail systems for there never have any there's never any exposure of the cabling. So yeah, we've had systems now and seen personally on our end up for several years now, but we've seen many other installs that have been installed for decades already, and they're producing regularly, so.
So has
right here in Saskatchewan.
Right here in Saskatchewan, wow. I mean, how has solar technology changed? Because I know that there's so much advancement in well, I guess car batteries and vehicles. But when it comes to solar, has the technology been evolving over the past decade? And if so, how drastic has the evolution been?
Yeah, for sure. So I remember looking into solar. This was around 2015. So 2015, I got some pricing, for putting solar up on my place. We launched the company in 2019. So we I installed solar on my house in 2018. But it was approximately $5 a watt installed, and I don't want to get too technical, but $5 a watt approximately. Now, and that's residential cost. Now it's at about $2.80 a watt. So it's almost half the price in 6 years. So solar has really, and the reason why that's happened is kind of two main factors. The one being the technology. Like each solar panel is now generating so much more watts per hour in the same footprint of a solar panel. It's generating more. They used to be 200 watt, 100 watts, whereas now they're 450 watt, 500 watt, 600 watts are coming next year. So that is one main reason, and the second reason why why it is where it is now on the price point scale is due to the rapid increase of production. It's just gone up so much. I mean, the amount that solar is being installed has just increased so significantly that economies of scale have just taken it to the price point it is.
Okay, so coming back to your entrepreneurial journey here, and just kind of wanting to know, where do you see your company going in the near future?
Yeah, for sure. So our plan is to always be servicing the customers and types of solar installs we are now. We're going to always be servicing residential, agricultural, and commercial customers. That is definitely our long-term goal to stay in those industries and those areas of solar. But in addition to that, we're in Alberta now, and we want to get more of a stronghold there, but always have a really good presence here in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is our home base, and we're always going to have strong roots here. And then, we also want to branch out to we'll branch out more west. So British Columbia, we want to start getting installs out there as well. and and then those government procurement contracts. Those we see as really really viable and a really good option for us to get into as well. So we're going to be, our plan is to kind of implement more of those installs as the years go on. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. When you're looking at targeting your customers, do you find that there's a 50-50 split between residentials and commercial, or do you think that there's a greater opportunity in commercial than residential?
Yeah, so I'd say for the amount of installs occurring, it would definitely lean towards the residential side. There'd be more people, residentially installing than commercial, and that I think would strictly be to a numbers based a market, I guess. If you take Saskatoon or any city, Regina, whatever it be, Yorkton. If you take any of those communities, there's going to be significantly more residential buildings than commercial. That'd be why, So, but yeah, I'd say more residential than commercial. But the commercial customers are definitely looking at it more, and they're always putting more of a return on investment focus on the install. So that's always improving. So.
Okay. So with regards to let's say your personal backstory, let's say if you could go back 10 years, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Yeah, I really like that question, and that's a super exciting one. So 10 years ago, I was doing good things, doing really good things, but I wish I would have got into renewables sooner. That's one thing I really wish. And I think for people out there, what I would always stress to individuals is always do something you're passionate about. If you're doing something you're passionate about and you really like it, you're gonna put the extra hours in. You're gonna not feel like you're working all the time. You're enjoying it. It's kind of becomes part of who you are. And I've really found that in renewables. In solar and renewable energy. So
that's great. I can definitely see the passion in you, and the how adamant you are about educating the public about renewables. Let's get into, like you mentioned, you were into good things, a lot of good things. I want to talk about that. What kind of good things were you into?
Yeah, for sure, definitely, yeah. So actually started a landscaping company in 2014, Pioneer Landscaping that operates here in Saskatoon, and the company's doing very well. My business partner, Christine, she bought me out in 2019. Oh, well, I guess it would have been 2018. We kind of made those arrangements, and I definitely liked landscaping. It was really good industry, really positive industry to be in. But once I started diving into solar, I just found myself just digging so much deeper, and I'd be up at 10 p.m. at night just looking into what's the next module, solar panel coming out, what's the next inverter coming out, just for fun, So I kind of really just dove into it, So
that's awesome, actually. So how long was this landscaping company for? Like, how long did you operate that?
Yeah, so Pioneer Landscaping, we launched that in 2014, and in 2019 I transitioned over to Pioneer Solar and Renewables. So yeah, I guess I was doing it for 5-6 years.
Wow, Wow, that's great. Awesome,
Yeah.
it's awesome. So
And
yeah, go on.
oh, sorry, yeah, and actually, you know what? I guess the two kind of tie in together, and you wouldn't really think that, right? But and how it does is for the agricultural installs. Agricultural installs are ground mount systems. So you're putting in screw piles into the ground, or you can go conventional piles, concrete piles, which we have experience with as well through Pioneer Landscaping. So you're kind of doing both. You need to know how to operate equipment and do groundwork too for agricultural installs. Yeah.
What a transition. I mean, it's interesting. Do you have some sort of inclination with that name Pioneer? Because you had that in landscaping and now into your new company as well?
Yeah. I mean, Pioneer. We've always had this this goal about maybe doing something else with the name Pioneer, and actually in regard to solar, we do have some plans to kind of do kind of solar on a bigger scale as well. So yeah, no, Pioneer's kind of the in-house name. That's the name we want to kind of brand ourselves with and move forward with. So
that's awesome. Excellent. So based on your experience, Brett, and the challenges that you've overcome, obviously with your previous business as well as growing your current business, if there was one big takeaway that you could give to our listeners, what would that be?
Yes, for sure. So I guess the main takeaway I would give is for entrepreneurs is don't give up. There's as you know too, Munib, being a business owner yourself, there's always struggles. There's always those tough times where you got to pull through, and very trying times. Where it'd be a lot easier to throw the towel in and start doing something else. But I would recommend. I say to any entrepreneur that it's well worth it in many ways to see the course through and stick with it.
So true. I think it's important to, you have to have that grit and that determination to stay in it. And
big time.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot from you to be able to do that. And some people can continue, some people can't. It's just the way it is. And I think to be a true entrepreneur, you really have to believe in what you're doing and keep pushing, especially when times get hard. Because that's when you get to know whether you will make it or not. And no, definitely that's some great advice, Brett. So where can people find out more about you and contact you online?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we have a business phone line that anybody can reach out to, 1-833-384-7657. Our web address is pioneersolarenergy.com. And we will be launching here shortly on Facebook and Instagram. That should be in the next coming months, next few months, couple months maybe even. And then our YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, we just launched. So that's Pioneer Solar and Renewables.
Excellent. We'll definitely include a link to the channels as well as your website in this podcast. But thank you very much, Brett, for taking the time today to come on to the show. And it's been a pleasure speaking with you and learning more about your business. And I wish you the best of success here in your entrepreneurial journey. And keep in touch.
Thanks so much, Munib. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Sask Entrepreneurs. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a spark of inspiration. To catch more stories and lessons learned from Saskatchewan's business leaders, visit SaskEntrepreneurs.com. Until next time, keep building, keep growing, and keep Saskatchewan strong. Ciao.